I'm super excited. It's gonna be
Hey
good.
guys, welcome back to our channel. Now, me and Kenya are still absolutely buzzing from yesterday. I still really haven't processed everything that's happened, and I'm still absolutely buzzing. But it's great to have you back on, Kenya. First of all, how are you doing, and how are you
Um,
feeling after yesterday?
Now, thanks for having me back on. No, I'm just like ecstatic, like so happy. I woke up early this morning, like I couldn't sleep last night. Like I'm just like over the moon. Like I feel like everyone is really. How about you?
I'm still like shocked. I feel so
Yeah,
surprised because I think we've all known the season in the league. It's been pretty,
yeah,
depressing.
no,
And
yeah.
it hasn't been great at all. And I think it's just so good to have that type of win. And going into the game, how did you think we would do? Because I think we have been quite inconsistent this season. I think
Yeah.
you just never know what you're going to get from Arsenal. We've had good performances here and there in the league, but I think we have been completely different from how we were last season.
Yeah, no, I completely. You know what? Funnily enough, yesterday, right, I woke up and I was like in the best mood. I went to the gym and that, and I just had a really good feeling. Like I
Yeah,
can't. I remember when we played Manchester City. I went to that game as well. Like I had the same feeling. Like I know we're gonna win. I know we're gonna do it. I know we're gonna get over the line. Nobody expects us to, but we're gonna do it. And like even like walking to the ground, sitting in there, like I didn't feel nervous at all. It was like, okay, this team is the best team ever, but
yeah,
I know what my team can also do. And when my team wants to turn up, they do it. Do you know what I mean? And I think as well, because of the occasion of the game, we've seen already this season when the game's massive and the players are up for it and there's something massive on the line. We saw against Man City where like, they wanted to prove a point. They proved it. And I was like, this is the
yeah,
perfect opportunity to do that. And they did it. So like I was just, I did expect it to be 3-0. I thought it was gonna be
yeah.
much closer. I thought it'd be much lower scoreline, but it's just it could have been more. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Do you know what I mean? But incredible. Like I'm still just off the high of it all. Like it just doesn't even feel real, honestly.
Yeah, I think we're gonna feel like this for like the longest time because it does feel amazing. And I just wanted to say big up to Sunshine FC.
Yeah.
So congrats on the win, and I'm sure you were very happy. Amazing free kick from Declan Rice. I mean, do you know what? I was more surprised. When he scored that second one, I thought surely
Yeah.
he's not going to do it again, and he does it again. Like
Exactly.
I think the season with like set pieces, I mean like free kicks especially, we've really struggled with that. I mean, I know Odegaard has taken some in the past and usually takes them, but I'm just
Yeah.
like, why haven't we done this sooner?
Like do you know what? When I saw Declan Rice step up, yeah, I was so happy. I was like, Odegaard, right? He's not scored a free kick since 2021 against Burnley or Brighton. I don't remember which one came last. And especially this season, every free kick he's taken has gone straight into the wall. He's not even got it on target or hit the post or even gone over the goal. He just hits it straight into a wall. And it's so frustrating because we know on set pieces, we're one of the best. That's
Yeah,
like something that, even in a ground war singing set piece again, ole ole, like we're known for that now. And we also know Real Madrid are very poor at set pieces. That's one of their biggest weaknesses. So when I saw Declan step up, I just had a feeling. I was like, I know he's going to do it. And he scored. And I was like, oh my God, what a free kick. And then about 8 minutes later, he scores another one that's even better. And then to think as well, he did that against Thibaut Courtois, who's like one of the best goalkeepers around. Like, it was just like, it was surreal. I was like, how have you done that twice? It's actually crazy.
yeah,
But I don't know, man. That technique, like now, like you said, we need him to be doing this more because we know what he can do. We know he stepped up and started taking corners for us when Martinelli and Trossard's corners weren't really the greatest. And we've seen him score some long range bangers. Like look at when we beat West Ham 6-0. Scored an
yeah.
absolute rocket from like probably a similar range, about 30 something yards. Absolutely just curled it in. So we know he's capable of that. Just use him more. Even when he
Yeah.
goes for international duty now, we see Thomas Tuchel's already put him on corners because his delivery is just incredible. So when I saw that free kick, I was just like, I can't believe this guy's done it again. How's he done that? It's actually wild. I can't. Yeah,
Yeah,
wild.
it is crazy. I mean, I think especially with the game, how big it was as well. I mean, going into the game, I think, on the TV, you could really feel the atmosphere, and it
Yeah,
was a really big game for us. I think it's been one of our biggest games, for a very long time. And I think it's just really nice knowing that obviously the fans definitely turned up for the team, and it's
Yeah,
nice knowing that the team were able to, step up in that moment. And listen, we are 3-0 up, and I think at that point you do feel quite comfortable. I mean, I know
yeah.
we do have the second leg. How do you sort of see how we're going to perform? Do you think that we might sit back a bit more, or do you think we'll definitely go and trying to get a few more goals to make it quite comfortable in that second leg?
I think it's hard because I think
Mm.
on one hand we could sit back, but I actually think that's something we shouldn't necessarily do. Just
Yeah,
because Real Madrid now, we saw they were very pragmatic when they played us. They were like, right, we know Arsenal can't deal with low blocks. We're gonna low block it. Obviously, that didn't work out for them. We ended up scoring 3 goals. But now they're gonna go to the Bernabeu like, right, we've got our people behind us. Why not go for it? And I think because of the injuries we have, because we're missing Gabriel especially.
yeah,
I think if you encourage that pressure, that's nah. I think the best thing for us to do is almost play how we played last night, where we're just very organized. We hold on to the ball for large periods of the game. We kind of make them play to our tempo,
yeah,
and and if we defend well, which we did last night, we can go through. We have to. I feel like you look at all of the other teams that beat in Real Madrid in the Champions League this season, like Atletico beat them 1-0, then they went out. Again, they kind of controlled the game. They just said, right, you can maybe go on the counter here and there, but we're controlling the possession. When AC Milan beat them as well, it was kind of they caught them by surprise. So we have to I don't really want to see us sit back because,
yeah.
imagine giving Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, Valverde, Rodrigo all this time on the ball. I think that's a recipe for disaster. So, to be honest, yeah, similar to last night, I think that's how I'd really want us to play.
Yeah, I think it would be quite a long night if we just sat back, really. I think it would be very tough. I mean, as you mentioned, especially without Gabrielle, I mean, that has been a big loss. And do you know what I
Yeah,
think? Yesterday, I know in that first half we did give the ball away, a little bit, but I think
yeah,
I think we did really well considering we've been without
yeah.
Gabriel, and he's been one of our most consistent players all season. And I think, yeah, I mean, what did you make of Kivior yesterday? Because I know obviously this was a big game for him. I mean, I wasn't surprised that he started because he had a good game the other day, and Arteta's really chosen and believed in him. So what did you sort of make about how he did defensively and how he did?
I thought he was great. I think
Yeah.
one thing I liked about him, right, he made a mistake at the start of the game. He like miskicked it. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know, I was thinking that as well.
After that, he just settled completely. He was just like, right, I'm not letting this get to me. And he played out of his skin. He was absolutely incredible. And like we're not talking about he was up against just like, you know, okay, good attackers. He's up against the best front three in the world. And not one of them had a good game. He kept every single one of them silent. He was so good. He
Yeah.
looked so comfortable on the ball. Like what more of an opportunity to say, you know what, Arsenal fans, I'm gonna silence you because even myself, I said, look, he played really well against Everton, but maybe Ben White's the best option because we all
Yeah.
trust Ben. We know what Ben can do. We've seen Ben play in all of the positions in the back line. Like we know Ben on his day is perfectly fine. But Kyrgios he completely stepped up. And that's what I like about him because through adversity, he steps up. He's made a few mistakes, but every player makes mistakes. And when he actually gets a run of games, he does his job perfectly, which is a backup centre back. And I'm sorry, if you can play against Real Madrid, one of the best front threes, if not the best front three in the world, and not a single one of them scores, you've done your job. That's as simple as
Yeah.
it is. He was great.
Yeah, do you know what? It was. I think that second half was absolutely crazy because I think you go into this game, you look at their attacking players, you look at ours, and you know that the striker situation has been a problem for us all season. I
Yeah,
mean, Marino at this point has been doing pretty good, but I
yeah,
think you look at their attackers and you do. That was the bit I was sort of fearing because
yeah,
Vinicius Junior is so fast and they've got
yeah,
Mbappe,
exactly.
and you know what? I didn't think they had an awful lot of chances. I think they had, probably a fair few in that first half. And
Yeah,
I suppose in a way we got a bit of luck, and Ryan made some great saves. And
yeah,
I think we definitely had the better chances, especially in
yeah,
that second
I'm,
half. I mean,
yeah,
that second half, I don't know what changed, but I think as soon as Declan Rice scored that goal, I think that definitely gave us that sort of motivation, determination to go on, and the fans went absolutely crazy as well.
Yeah, it was wild. I was in the stadium. It was wild. Like
Oh, that would be
it was crazy. The fans were singing. Like the Real Madrid away support is probably one of the best supports. They were like, we couldn't even hear them. Couldn't even hear them singing or anything. We completely silenced them. And like you said, like that front three, as well with that front three, you know, they've got a lot of people they can bring on.
yeah,
Like we saw they brought in Brahim Diaz, they could bring on Endrick, Arda Güler, that they've got all those options, whereas we don't. Even
yeah,
when we are strength, really, we don't really have enough options to bring off the bench. And you mentioned someone so important, Mikel Merino, right?
yeah,
This guy, we have to give him the respect. We have to give him the respect he deserves because he's never played striker in his life. That's what he said
yeah,
when we played and he came on and he scored those 2 goals in 6 minutes. He said, "I've never played this position before. The manager just said to me, right, I want you to go up there and I want to score." And since he's played there, that's what he does.
yeah,
PSV, Liverpool, Brentford, Leicester, Fulham, Chelsea, and they're not just like little goals; they're massive, massive goals
yeah,
that make the difference. And like I when he first joined, I was kind of like, okay, what is this guy really good at? Like, we've
yeah.
seen you a bit slow, like, kind of a bit off the pace. He stepped up massively. Like, yesterday, that goal, he just rossed it. He just banged it.
Do you know
Keepers
what?
are getting.
I was so happy because I think that goal definitely felt like it was coming because I think
Yeah,
it might have been that second half. He had some great opportunities and that I
yeah,
felt really bad because you could really feel he was really trying to get that goal. And yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like when he first came in, I just I wasn't ever really convinced by him in that midfield, and
yeah,
I think as you said, in this role, it's really suited him, which is obviously great
yeah,
for us because we've needed someone like him, especially since Havertz has been injured, and we know our attack, can be a little predictable at times. But I
yeah,
think in that game, I think that goal he scored, you could really feel how much it meant to him as well, and I think we're in a great position right now, obviously. I just wanted to read out some comments. Big up Victor, great to see you in
yeah,
here. Anti-clockwise, evening goal, what a result. Yeah, absolutely missed. I'm
yeah.
still buzzing. Oh, that's Sophie from Perth, Western Australia. That's so cool. Big
Oh,
up.
wow.
I love
Listen,
that people watch around the world. I just find that so
yeah,
fascinating. Um, the rate at which Miles Lewis Kelly is developing into a top player is amazing to watch. Love what I'm seeing. Do you know what? It's
yeah,
crazy when you think about his age as well. He's so
yeah.
amazing at what he does.
Miles, yeah. I luckily I had the opportunity to meet his mum, I think
Oh,
last
she's
week.
lovely.
And she's such a lovely lady, yeah. And I said to her, you can see why her son is so humble, why he's got
Yeah,
his head on his shoulders, because you meet his family members, you're like, this kid, you can understand why he plays the way that he does, why he has that confidence. And I'm like, this kid's 18 years old. When I was like, I can't even remember what I was doing when I was 18. He's
no, I
18 years,
don't.
he's playing on the biggest stage, he's playing in the Champions League. He gets an assist as well against Real Madrid. He's 18 years old. He's not even a left back. He's a midfielder by trade. He's had to make that left back role himself. He's had to hold it down, and he's done so well. He's keeping the likes of Palafiori,
Yeah,
Zinchenko, Kieran Tierney out of the team. He's so incredible. Like last night, I was watching him. I was like, "How is this kid 18? He plays like he's 25."
yeah,
He's so like I saw him. He went on some incredible run, and I'm like, he just jogged past
yeah. That run was amazing.
Jude Bellingham was there having a go, and he just said, "Yo, get up." I'm just like, I love this kid. He's so good. He's so beyond his years, and honestly, it's so refreshing to have another academy product just step up. Him and
Yeah,
Ethan, the way they stepped up, but Miles especially so much because when you're a defender, when you're an attacker and you're young, if you miss a chance, you'll say, right, he's 17, he's still developing. When you're 18 and you're thrown into a defense and you're coming up against the best front three in the world, there's no excuses. Rodrigo didn't complete a single dribble last night. Didn't even get past him. That's how good he was. This kid, I've just lost for words every time I watch him. He's incredible.
Yeah, he is so amazing. Like you said, that run he did yesterday, just in the box, like he wasn't afraid. I find him quite brave. The fact he just goes for things and he
Yeah,
doesn't really care. And I like him. I think he's definitely a player that likes to take risks. And I know
yeah,
sometimes, he has had a few red cards, but I think some of them have been harsh. But I like him because I think he's not afraid, as you said.
yeah,
If I didn't know Arsenal, I would think he's a lot older than what he is, and I think
yeah,
that's
exactly.
definitely a great compliment to have. And I think it must be so surreal for players like him and Saka and Waneri as well, if Waneri gets a chance. But for them to play in the Champions League at the Emirates, against Madrid, I mean, it must be such an incredible feeling, especially as them that love Arsenal. And for a lot of these players that I look at players and I do feel bad for Gabriel because he has been really
Yeah,
with us through the bad
exactly.
times. When Arteta first came here, I'm pretty sure he was playing with like Mustafi at the time, and you think to yourself, these are the moments that he deserves, and I just feel so bad that he's injured right now.
I know. You know what? I was watching a game last night and I was like, this is a game for Gabby. Like even we
Yeah,
had a corner and like you could see Courtois was able to get out, but they were like faffing around with it. And I'm like, Gabby would have just put that in. What
yeah,
he does, to me, I said it already. To me, he's our player of the season. He's been incredible. I
yeah,
can probably name on my hand, maybe like he's probably had like 3 bad games all season. I love him. He steps up in every occasion. Spurs at home, Spurs away, Man City home and away. Do you know what I mean? He's made for these occasions. He's made to play these games. We even saw, when he went on international break and played for Brazil, he cemented himself as a starter. Unfortunately, he missed the second game. They got thrashed. That goes to show how big of a player he is. And like I agree with you. I feel so sorry for him because this is the game he deserves to play. He's played all
yeah.
the other and like I'm just saying, oh, imagine if Gabby was here. Imagine if Gabby was playing. That would be
I
the diff.
know.
I genuinely think we would have scored more. I genuinely think we would have scored more.
Yeah, I
He's,
think it is a shame at the end of the day, but I also think as well the team are making him proud, and the team are
yeah,
really. I think the team, you know what, I'd love the team to go all the way this season, the Champions League.
yeah,
I think this season, I do think we've had quite a lot of bad luck with injuries. I
yeah,
think it depends every season. Teams, I mean, I think it might have been last season when Newcastle got, quite a few injuries. It happens to so many different teams. I think
yeah.
unfortunately we're just on the unlucky side. But with like the Champions League, obviously, as you mentioned, a second leg, I would say I'm quite optimistic we'll get the job done. I mean, I think if it was 2-0, I would say I'm a little bit nervous because,
Yeah.
2-0 is not really a
Who knows?
comfortable
Yeah.
scoreline. But I think 3-0 does feel quite comfortable. I know anything could happen as well. But how are you feeling about us winning? Do you feel more confident now after yesterday of our chances of winning the Champions League?
I mean, look, as keep saying to everyone, like we just got to make it through. You don't know
Yeah.
what happens. Like I always refer back to when Chelsea last won the Champions League. You look at that team. None of that team is better than. I can't think
No,
of
that
one.
was a great team.
Maybe Thiago Silva. Other than Thiago Silva, everybody
Yeah,
else in that team is nowhere near the level of what we have, right? They had Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Mason Mount. Those guys were leading the line, and they got over the line. They beat Real Madrid. They beat Man City in the final. You don't know what happens if you're organized and you're focused and you want to win. You can do it. So
yeah,
look, if we go, like you said, 3-0 is a healthy advantage. We go to the Bernabeu. We do what I know we can do, which is defend incredibly well. Like I said, shout out Raul because Raul's a Real Madrid fan, and I was saying to him last night, he was super confident. He said to me, "Is they're going to win 4-0?" And I said, "We haven't conceded more than 2 goals in over a year. The last time he did that was against Luton Town. That was over
yeah.
a year ago. That was in like December. Do you know what I mean? I don't even remember what year we were in that season. 2023-24 season. I
Yeah,
don't
that was
remember. Maybe
I remember that game.
that's the last time we conceded more than 2 goals. We've played Bayern Munich, we've played Inter, we've played all these big teams, Liverpool, Man City. Not any of those teams were able to score more than 2 against us. There's no way that Arsenal are going to concede more. And I have confidence that we can go to the Bernabeu and see it over the line because they've shown me this season we can get it done. I know
Yeah,
PSV are nowhere near Real Madrid, but I remember that game. We were completely depleted, no Saka. No
Yeah,
Martinelli, I don't. We had Ethan. We're having to play left backs as wingers and stuff like that. We went there and we battered them. We slapped them 7-1, and all of their fans were going to beat you, blah, blah. What did we do? We were just super organized and we went and did what we did and we won.
yeah.
So I think, you look, in these things, you need a bit of luck as well. If we have our luck, we ride our luck and we can try and make it as far as possible. Who knows what can happen? Who
Yeah,
knows?
I definitely, yeah, I agree. I think I'm like a fan, especially in the league as well. Like I always take it game by game because
Yeah,
you can't get carried away. I think it is easy as fans for us to get carried away, but
exactly.
I think at the moment we can just enjoy this win. I mean, if we, I don't really know how we are going to perform. I think Saliba did say that, I don't really want us to sit back himself. He said
Yeah,
that he wants to go for it, and I think if we could get a goal there, or if we could just attack and make it hard for them, I think that we've got to do what we've got to do, and I think it's going to be tough. I think with Saka being back, I think that has made a big difference.
yeah.
I know he
I
did
think,
score yesterday,
yeah,
but he was. I think you can really feel his energy and how important he is for the team, and I think it's been great to see him come back as well. What did you sort of make of? What have you made of Saka's return so far?
um, it makes you realize why we missed him so much. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? He comes on against Fulham, he scores in 7 minutes of coming back. Like that's who he is. Yesterday, he wins the two crucial free kicks. Like I was
yeah,
watching him, I was watching Alaba. Alaba was scared of him. Every time he was running towards Alaba, he just stood off him. He's like, I'm not even going to engage. He had to call Jude Bellingham to come over to help double up on him. At one point, that wicked pass that Saka put into the box, I don't know how nobody like tapped that in, where he just brushed it across goal. I'm like, this is what this guy can do. And we need to realize he's at 25% right now. He's only just
yeah.
come back. He's not match ready. He's not match fit. We saw last night he was knackered. He came off about 70 something minutes. I'm like, imagine if this was the Saka of 100%. He's one of the best in the world. And like knowing that he's back, that's a massive boost to the team because he creates all the goals. He scores the majority of the goals. He is the guy. I call him, as Mr. Tony Adams was once called, Mr. Arsenal. That's what he is to
Yeah.
me. Because he is the face of the club. He is the club. He's the heart he's the engine of the team. And without him, it's so obvious that, the other players, they're good, but he's just a light year above. So just honestly, having him back last night, you saw how crucial he is to the team. Even when he's not scoring and assisting, he's making things happen. He's wicked, wicked.
Yeah,
Love him.
I think especially that first half, you could really sense that. I mean, I know there was quite a few good players from our team, but you could really feel he was above a lot of them with how he was performing and just those crosses that he was doing. It was amazing to watch. And like you said, he's just come back. He's not really played a full 90 minutes, and it's just crazy how good he's been. Like you said, he's not 100% because he's had a big injury, and I think it's great that we've not rushed him back in the sense we've not,
Yeah,
we've gradually brought him back, which I think is good. But I think he's, ready to play, and I think he really wants to help us this season. I really can't wait to see, in the second leg, how we sort of do. I mean, I think with the league, I'm not really bothered about the league anymore. I've
yeah,
lost a lot of interest. I think
yeah,
the Champions Leagues are, for me that should be our full focus this season. But I'm just excited to see how well we do. I just wanted to say we got to Victor. Even Bellingham said they were lucky to only concede three. I want us to go to the second leg like it's no. Yeah, that is a great
absolutely.
way. Yeah, that's a great way to see it. I mean, I definitely think we could have won, 4 or 5
Yeah,
new. I mean,
of course.
Courtois, I think he's amazing. I mean, I couldn't believe some of the saves he was making as well. He did make it really difficult for us. But yeah, what did you make of Courtois' performance? Because I thought it was so hard to get past him.
Incredible. Like you see why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like at one point he made a triple save. I was like, how have you even got up quick enough
I know.
to save that?
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Like he's so like even seeing him because when you see it on TV, you're like, right, this guy's big. When you see him in person, like he's a
It's
he's a
different. Yeah.
polarizing figure. He's massive. I was like, wow. I was watching them warm up. I was like, oh my god, he might be the second biggest goalkeeper after Donnarumma. He's just like huge, and you can see why he's like you see why he's one of the best. I thought he was incredible. And those 3 goals, I mean, all 3 goals to me were fantastic goals. I mean, we had 2 worldy free kicks and then one incredible strike from Marino where he just blasted it, put his foot behind it, really shoved it in the corner. Like, no one's really saving that. And I honestly think if he wasn't in goal, if it was anybody else, I think it could have been 5, honestly. It could have been 5, maybe even 6, because we smelt blood. We scored those 2 free kicks and we're like, you know what, let's keep going. The team was motivated to score more. And, he's just like, he's kept them in the tie, really. I know 3-0's like, a lot of people naturally would say 3-0, the tie's dead. But we know what Real Madrid can do. We know that they've in time turned around deficits. But he's like, wow. I was like, wow, you can see why, Chelsea, when he left Chelsea, they were really trying to keep him. And you see why Real Madrid have got him, because he's one of the best. One of the best.
It is crazy how good he is, because you think to yourself, I've watched Raya throughout the season, you think he's good, but I think Courtois is I think he's just a different level. I mean, I definitely think Raya will get to that, and I think the more Champions League games he plays in, I think that'll be great for him. But I think, as you mentioned at Chelsea, I remember watching him at Chelsea, he was amazing then. But I think in the Champions League at Madrid, I definitely think he made it really difficult for us. I think with the free kicks, I don't think he could really do much with that. And to be fair, I don't think with any of the goals there was much he could really do, because I think you could really see there was body on the lines. Madrid were really, trying, but we just kept scoring, which was amazing. But like you said, we could have scored a lot more, which is obviously amazing. And thanks for winning last night. England will have 5 teams in the Champions League. Do you know what? I saw that. What did you make of that? I think that's quite great.
Yeah, you're welcome, Premier League. We've done that for you.
Thank you. You still thank us.
Thank us. Thank you. So the likes of Chelsea and Bournemouth, you're welcome. That's because we've, done the business. I think that's pretty good. I mean, on one hand, I'm like, okay, top 4 has always been like the thing, like a lot of clubs aim towards that. But I'm like, you know what? The league is getting really competitive. And what I could say is like teams like Bournemouth, who else is in those spaces? Newcastle, Aston Villa, Brighton. Like they're actually to be fair, they're actually kind of deserving of playing in the Champions League this season because of how well they've played. So I'm not actually against the 5 spots. I think as well, in my opinion, we're the best league. And you want the best teams in the best competition, simple as that. So I do think, I'm happy for the league in the sense that obviously now we're going to have more English competition. And I think as well, more English teams need to win the Champions League. I think that's why it's so important that we try and win it, because, you think about the last couple of years, it's always in Spanish holders or German. So, it's, if you get more English teams in it, there's a higher probability of an English team winning that Champions League. And that's better for the league in general, if I'm taking off my Arsenal hat. But obviously, I hope it's Arsenal.
I think it's really nice as well, because I think, this season as well, for example, Nottingham Forest, I think they've done so amazing. And do you know what? I think it's really great to see. And like Newcastle as well, I mean, them winning a trophy, but also if they're able to, come fifth, get Champions League football for next season, I think it's good, because as you mentioned, there's other teams that really, are deserving of Champions League football, but I think it's so hard now to finish 4th. I mean, I know when growing up for me, you'd really want to get that top 4 for Champions League football. So I think it's great as well for other teams that would never really have thought would have got that. Like, but I'd be great for Bournemouth. I think they've done amazing. I think this season, I think there's been so many amazing teams, and I'm really happy with it too. Everyone needs to thank us now, because we've done them a good job. But with our game, obviously we have Brentford coming up in the league. We all know obviously that Champions League is probably our main focus, but we still want to end the season as good as we can. Would you rest a lot of the players? Would you still put a fairly strong team out for the game?
I would rest a lot of players. So I don't want to see players I think Kiwior and Saliba will have to play, because unfortunately we're very light in the defensive part of the field. But I don't want to see Timber play. I don't want to see, if I can, I don't really want to see Declan Rice or Thomas Partey play. I don't really want to see Miles or Saka play. Do you know what I mean? Or Martinelli. I would make a lot of changes. Um, and this is where the likes of Ethan, Sterling, Trossard, Ranieri, Zinchenko, these are the type of player, Kieran Tierney, like I'd give all those guys because they should be able to beat Brentford. This is no disrespect to Brentford at all. They're a wicked side. We know what they can do, but they should be able to beat Brentford. And like you said, like unfortunately the league is gone. In reality,
Yeah.
is I think even last weekend, although I won't dwell on it too much, we were basically robbed of 3 points. If we had won that game, obviously Liverpool lost, we would be 9 points ahead. Maybe you'd look at it like, right, the chances are really slim, but maybe some people get their hopes up. I just think it's kind of gone now. The injuries
Yeah.
has killed and all the bad decisions. But like you said, you don't want to just let it slip in the league. Like that game against Brentford is just as important because that's also morale now to go into that Real Madrid game. Like, right, we've got two wins under our belt. We go into the Bernabeu with high confidence.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would make a lot of changes. I think this is a time to rotate the team. A lot of players looked tired and need rest. And, it was a very intense game yesterday as well, full of a lot of emotion. So they do need rest. And this is a time to give the fringe players a chance, really. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a great opportunity, like you said, to give players like maybe Sterling, Ranieri, or whoever Arteta decides. I mean, Jorginho as well is a good option. I think, like you said, we're at that point now with defence where we have to sort of play Saliba and give your after such a big game in the week. And I think as well, like with the league, I think Forest are quite a bit behind us. I think we're quite at the
Yeah.
moment quite comfortable seconds. I
Yeah.
don't know how many points they are behind. I might be. I don't know if it's like 7 or something, but I think we're quite okay at second. I don't really think they would overtake us, but I think like you said with the league. I mean, when did you start to think to yourself that we weren't going to do it? Because there's been so many times where I've changed my mind, where they give me that hope back. But I think for me, when we, I think when we lost to West Ham, I don't know if it was draw or a loss, but I think it was a loss. But
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I need to stop believing now because I don't think we're really going to do it. And do you know what? I think Liverpool, I would never take anything away from Liverpool because they have been much better than us this season and Mo Salah's been incredible. But I think we could have really catched them up if we wanted to. But I think we've had injuries, we've had other setbacks. But I think I started, not believing when we lost to West Ham.
Yeah. I think I went to that game. That was just a killer. Like, it's a team that we should
Yeah.
have beaten. And I can't remember who Liverpool played at. I think they had dropped points previously as well. It was kind of
Yeah.
like if we win this, we're still behind, but we're close. Like that maybe I think it might have been 8 points, but that 8 points in reality is about 3 games, and we still have to play them. So it's
Yeah.
like this is a bit nervy. They've got a few hard games coming up. That game just killed it for me. Like I was really disappointed, and I think what annoyed me even more is yes, we had injuries, but the players on that pitch, they could have done much better on that day. So
Yeah.
yeah, the league is, and it's really disappointing because, like you said, look, Liverpool have been really great. They've only lost 2 games this season, but I
Yeah.
also do think the quality of all the other teams have been really poor. So I would say,
Yeah.
like, obviously we've been poor. Man City have been really poor. Chelsea, all of the traditional big six, other than Liverpool, been quite poor. And then even like the likes of Bournemouth have been great, but even when Bournemouth played Liverpool, they should have beaten them. The only team that you can say that did well against Liverpool is Forest because they got
Yeah.
4 points. So I think that kind of sums up, how it is. But the frustrating thing is for me, like you said, we had the injuries, but as well, I feel like the owners kind of sacrificed our season in January by not getting anyone. So that
Yeah.
kind of cemented to me after January, I was just kind of like, something miraculous would have to happen for us to win this league. It's actually a miracle that we're even this close. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I do think we could have helped ourselves. I mean, I don't know if Arteta did get any, I don't know if they offered him any, players. I mean, I know we were linked to Ollie Watkins for a little while, and I think
Yeah,
he would have helped us a lot, in these moments, but I don't think he might have been a long-term option, but I do think he would
yeah,
have helped us. And I think, I think you just got to accept the situation now. I think, unfortunately, we haven't been good enough this season. I think it was hard because at the start, I think we did quite good, and I think it just
yeah,
sort of fell off. And I think, I'll be honest, I think a lot of players haven't been great this season. I don't think it's just
yeah.
one or two. I mean, I personally have been a bit disappointed in Odegaard. I mean, I do like Odegaard, and I hope next season that he will get better or he will find his mojo back. I don't really know what has happened with him. I mean, I think players will go out of form, players will, lack confidence, and that's just part of football. And sometimes, you hope he'll get it back, but I think for him, I just don't know if he has it. What have you sort of made of him? Do you think that next season he'll be much better?
He has to be. That's all I know.
Yeah,
This
really
season,
does.
like, okay, he'd been injured. He had 2 injuries, one that was really serious. And I understand when you come back from injury, it takes a while to acclimatize, but he's just been so off it. I even feel like yesterday in the first half, at times I'm like, why are you he's like, sometimes he's a passenger in games. He just
Yeah,
lets things go past, and I'm like, you're supposed to be the pinnacle of the game. You're the guy that's creating and dictating the game. You can't be a passenger. And I think this season, I don't remember what game we played, but he even said himself, this hasn't been a good season. This has been my worst season here.
yeah,
And it's good that he acknowledged that, because he knows that, look, I'm below my level, because we know Martin Odegaard at his best. Martin Odegaard at his best scored 15 goals for us. He had 10 plus assists.
yeah,
He's one of the best around. So we know what he can do, but this season he's been really disappointing. And he has to, next season, I genuinely think the way that this team is evolving as well, if you're not good enough, we just get somebody else in. Do you know what I mean? Look what
yeah,
happened with Martinelli. Martinelli at the time was not performing. We went and got Trossard. We're still looking at that left wing like, you guys, you guys are good, but you're not the next level. We're getting somebody else. Do you know what I mean? And that's how football
yeah,
moves incredibly fast. You have to stand up.
yeah,
Nobody's from being replaced or having competition. Look at Ramsdale. Fans loved
yeah,
Ramsdale. Raya was bought. Raya's now number one. Raya's the guy that plays every game. Do you know what I mean? Ramsdale's now being sold. So next season to me he has to have a big, 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 like big season. Massive
yeah.
season.
I think. I mean, I don't really think we're gonna do this in the summer, but I think we've really got to be quite ruthless with
Yeah,
who's really gonna take us that next level. Which players are good enough? Because I do think this season. I mean, other than the players that have gotten injured, I've sat there and thought to myself, a lot of these players haven't really stepped up in the big moments. I
yeah,
mean, it's a tough one with Martinelli because I would say the last two games he's played in, I've been really impressed with him. I think yesterday, I thought he was pretty good with the crosses he was putting in. I think it was a good effort, but I think in recent sort of games, I think it's just not been a Martinelli that we've sort of known under Emery, under Arteta, and I think a lot of these players, I think next season really could be the last season. I mean, I know Jorginho's going in the summer. I'm not too sure about Partey. I wouldn't be surprised though if he did leave, but I think we've really got to be ruthless now because I think next season as well. Do you think that's a big season for Arteta?
yeah,
I think for me personally, I think if he doesn't get it right in the summer, we don't do a good season. I do think he has to. It's really weird having this conversation after though we've done great in Madrid,
yeah,
but I think we really have to be ruthless next season. But for you as well, with like the summer, I know we've obviously Edu's left, we've got a replacement, which we're all very excited about. How many sort of players do you expect them to bring in? Because I have heard Arteta say that we're going to have a big summer, but I'm just waiting to see if it will actually happen.
yeah. Look, I think we need about 7 players. That sounds crazy,
Yeah,
but backup goalkeeper, another defender, another six, attacking midfielder, a striker, a winger. That's 6 players or 7 players. We need a lot, a lot. And I think Miles and Ethan are gonna save us a lot of money. But the reality is we're also gonna lose, the likes of Zinchenko, Kieran Tierney. We might even lose Kiwior. We don't have a backup goalkeeper. Neto will go back to Bournemouth. Um, Like you said, Jorginho, Partey potentially are leaving at the moment. They've not been
Yeah.
given another contract, and then we might also lose someone like Trossard. So
Oh
he's
yeah.
that we've got no Gabriel Jesus was also potentially going to be sold, but he's done his ACL. I feel like end of next season he won't be at Arsenal. So we got a massive summer. We got a lot to do, and like you said, I think next season is make or break. I think Arsenal fans have been
Yeah.
very patient, and we can see what he's building. We can see he's onto something great. But it's now about that final hurdle. Can you get over it? And
Yeah.
we've stumbled at the final hurdle a few times now, and it's like, okay, we're running the night. We've run the 90 meters. What about the last 10 to get gold in 100? Nobody cares
Yeah.
about leading the race. It's about who finishes first place. So the summer has to be massive, and I feel like it's good that Andrea Berta is here. I'm really happy that he's here because
Yeah.
he's shown at Atletico that he's ruthless. I mean, he won the league with Atletico as sporting director. That's a massive achievement, and he's shown he's ruthless. He's shown that look, I'm gonna get in forwards. He's a big spender as well, which I like. He's not afraid to spend money where it seems necessary. And I look at his recent signings for Atletico other than Jao Felix, who was a lot of money, everybody else worked out. Everybody
Yeah.
else was fantastic. So I'm happy that he's here, and he's also going to challenge Mikel Arteta as well and say, actually, we're not getting that guy. We're going to get this guy because he's
Yeah.
proper. He's a goal scorer. Or we're going to get this guy because he's one of the best defenders around. Or we're going to get this guy because I've seen him as a 6. He's incredible. Do you know what I mean? Not, oh yeah, maybe I can mold this person. I don't want to hear about molding or anything like that. I want right now. I don't care about
Yeah.
3-4 years in the future. I care about winning with this team right now because we saw last night. I looked at that team. I was like, this team deserves to win something. It's actually criminal that they haven't got
Yeah.
leagues already. It's criminal that someone like Declan Rice, people still say, oh, this Caicedo or someone's better than him when he's so obviously better. And it's because he's not won anything major with us. So we need to do that. Yeah. Summer's massive.
Yeah, do you know what? As well as you mentioned, I think I'd be quite happy for him to challenge Arteta about decisions, whoever they decide to bring in the summer, because I think if we are being honest, I think Arteta is I mean, obviously we don't know if
I'm
we're going. To,
stubborn.
I'm not saying we're going to win the Champions League. I'm not. We sort of don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. But I think if we didn't win anything in the season, I think Arteta's sort of on thin ice going into that next season. I think we really have to get the signings right. And, as you mentioned, it wouldn't surprise me as you mentioned Trossard moving on. I think that'd be fair. I think he's done us good. But I think, as you mentioned, if he wanted to leave, and that's fair enough. And I'm with you. I think we need a lot of players because obviously Tierney's, going to Celtic, and then there's, Partey if he's leaving, and Jorginho, that midfield. We need to sort of improve in that. And next season will be tough because I mean, Man City, they'll probably get back to their best again. And I know they've had an off season, but I think they can afford that. They've won so much with Pep, and I think for us, as you mentioned, it is crazy to think we've not won anything yet. Like, it blows my mind. I mean, even things like the cup competitions, like the season, I think it's a real shame that we've not been able to win, a League Cup or an FA Cup. And I think the team really do deserve that success. And I think it's just tough with the league because it's a very long process. With the Champions League, it's a little bit of luck, whoever you get. And I think it happens in a good way to us that this season Madrid, haven't done great. I think Madrid and us are quite similar season. They've had injuries like us. The second like us. But I think the second leg's going to be really exciting because I think if we were able to go through, that would be amazing because I think a lot of us didn't really expect us to beat Madrid. I mean, I actually predicted a draw. I wasn't sure how we would perform because you just sometimes don't know what Arsenal is going to turn up. But I think, as we mentioned today, we've done really amazing. I just wanted to read out this comment. I think Odegaard is in his own head, overthinking it and not letting the game come to him like it used to. I think that's a fair point. I mean, I think with Odegaard in the last few seasons, especially when we played United, he can really score goals and help us. But I think And perhaps he's overthinking it. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, we do need. I think Rice has been a really great player for us in those moments where we need someone to just win us the game. So I think I should mention next season, Odegaard has really got to be that guy, and he's got to really step up.
Yeah.
Because if he can't, then I think, as you've mentioned, we do have to be quite ruthless about these things. But I
Yeah.
just really hope that if he can pick his pace up and improve, because I do believe there's a good player in there. He has been good for us the last few seasons. It's just, as we've mentioned, it's a real shame that sometimes this happens to football players are going out of form. But Kenya, I just wanted to thank you so much as well for coming on my channel today. It's been really, really good to chat with you. Do you want to just tell people where they can find you if they want to give you a follow on social media?
Yep, you can find me on Instagram mostly at Kenya Lau, and I feature on LL Sports TV and AFTV a lot as well these days. So that's where you can find me.
Yeah, please do check her out. And I've been loving your interviews on AFTV. It's been great to see you get
Thank
your
you.
opinions out there as well. You're very welcome. And thank you all to those that have tuned in as well. It's been really great to answer your questions, read out your comments as well. Please don't forget to hit the like button on this video. Do share this, do comment if you want, and do subscribe here if you are new. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.
See you later.